lot of y'all know me for this green hat I wear. I've been a member of Harlan County Rescue Squad for over 22 years. I've worked hard with it. Started out with it with like 11, 12 members. It got down to one time just how they're going to 3 members. Now, I've been there for 22 years. I've got almost around 40 members that's active. You know, I'll probably do that. You know, rescue squad's all volunteer. Everything we get is either donations or grants. I've worked hard to gain what we have. The rescue squad got out run out. We're now debt free. We owe for nothing we got, just other than our basic light bills, stuff like that. I've worked hard with it. I started out 18-year-old working as a repairman in the coal mines and on coal trucks for coal companies. Worked that as 25. At 25, I started my own business. I was body shop and holding. I've been doing that currently since. So I know how it is to run a budget, on keep your money tight and stuff, how to keep it not wasted. I've been doing that, like I say, for about 25 years now, roughly. And as a, forget to go with jailer, I run, real tight budget with it, keep the money tight. Also would like to implement a few more programs. They've got a real good system going in the jail. It's really right now probably one of the lowest costing jails in the state of Kentucky. They've been good, and I'd like to continue to put effort toward that. What I'd like to do is start something similar to y'all seen the Scared Straight program on TV with their teens, stuff. Try to deter them to go before they go to jail, bring them up there, show them something similar to that. Deter them going to jail. Because if we can do preventives there, that would save us on the other end, with housing people when they do get in trouble. Try to turn them around before they get started. And on the other hand, too, to take some of the prisoners, have them speak to these, show them that they still, they're not just locked up and forgot about. Here, your chance to make, turn your life around and help maybe turn some young kid's life around before he had traveled the road you traveled. Programs like this will cost very little to no money to the county. I know how to go out of funding. I've been doing it, like I say, for the Rescue Squad. Also, I've been a member of Kentucky Mountain Crawlers. A little bit of history of that. The Black Mountain Off-Road Park got started by the Kentucky Mountain Crawlers. We got to talk to the landowner about getting permission to ride the land, cut the land over to make it for off-road. Now it's turned into one of our biggest tourism things for Harlan County. We work with that. I don't care, what I'm showing is I don't care to put the work in and the effort in to make everything go. I don't want to be a burden in Harlan County. I want to keep it progressive and moving forward. Expand things with the jail. Like I say, continue with the jail like that. Like I say, we've got a good jail and it's streamlined. It's going to be hard to streamline a whole lot more, but there's a little room we can make better halfway with it. Change a few, just a little thing. I've not been in law enforcement, but I've worked with about every law enforcement agency in the county. Most of the officers know me, missing person searches, auto accidents, everybody knows me. They know I put 100% in what I do. And I'd like to continue that, just, continue that right there on that. I'm running for jail. My name's Chris Allen. Appreciate y'all keeping me in mind May 20th. Thank you.
Final Republican.
Good evening. My name is Daniel Howard, Republican candidate for the office of Harlan County Jailer. I have 15 years experience in this field. For the last 11 years, I've served the people of Harlan County as a deputy, supervisor, and training officer at your Harlan County Jail. I'm a certified trainer for the Kentucky Department of Corrections, and I am regularly contracted throughout southeastern Kentucky to go into jails, and I train their jailers and their deputies on how to stay within the guidelines of the Kentucky Department of Corrections. I'm also a United States Marine Corps veteran. The jailer's job, the jail, is an unfortunate necessity. The jailer's job is twofold. The first part of the job is to maintain the facility and the inmates within that facility, and the second part of that job is to be able to do the first part of the job without breaking the county. In this time of economic uncertainty in our county and across our nation, the Harlan County Jail is standing strong. It'll be very difficult for any candidate, Republican or Democrat, to get up here and say too much negative about our detention center right now. We have one of the most operationally fit, financially stable jails in the state of Kentucky. In the past several years, we've had 4 perfect jail inspections. That means we are 100% in compliance already have the Reformers Unanimous program, which is a faith-based drug addiction program that's done very well. Our inmate work program and our garden. I've heard, while I've been out campaigning, that they talk about how well the inmates are fed. 21 tons of potatoes and almost 3,000 gallons of green beans tells me they're feeding pretty well. Our state-recognized SAP program has been there for a year now, and it's also doing very, very well. I've been asked many times about a female SAP program. That will not happen at the Harlan County Jail. The Cumberland Hope Center is 200 yards from our jail, and they have 50 beds allotted just for that particular purpose. So I've been asked that quite a bit even this evening, and I wanted to go ahead and let everybody know where that stands. If elected, I too, a big part of my campaign has been wanting to start a Scared Straight program. I am looking into children and the grandchildren of some of these offenders, and I wondered how can a jail take a proactive stance with this, and we need to get involved in the churches and the schools, work with the law enforcement agencies, bring these kids in, and show them the consequences of making bad decisions. Financially speaking, the jail again is very financially stable. We recently gave $50,000 back to the county to offset medical expenses. Last year we gave $40,000 back to the county so that county employees did not have to pay out of pocket for their insurance. You won't find another jail in southeastern Kentucky doing these things. I get asked a lot of questions about stuff like commissary prices. We have 30 items on commissary. We go through 6 different vendors. You can't buy our commissary items at Walmart for the price that we sell them. And if they don't like the prices, they can shop elsewhere. Smoking, as I've been talking to people, I know that the issue of smoking, some people are promising to bring back smoking. That is impossible. It is illegal. If you do that, it will cost the county $1.2 million because they will pull our state inmates out of the jail. We have great programs already involved in the jail. If I'm elected, I would like to put in a Scared Straight program. The jail is the single biggest liability. It is the single biggest financial concern in the county. And although the Harlan County does have several issues, the recent audit brought that to light, didn't it? The Harlan County Detention Center is not one of those issues. And I would like to keep that jail moving forward. Now, in closing, I believe that pretrial inmates should be treated fairly, but I also believe that convicted inmates need to be put to work off their debt to society and save the taxpayers money. I need your help to continue this. My name is Daniel Howard. I'm a Republican candidate for Harlan County Jailer, and I would appreciate your nomination. You have a good night.
There are 5 candidates on the Democratic ticket for Harlan County Jailer, and again, the top vote getter will man in each district of the county. Number 5 on the ballot, election May 20th. Can remember me. Thank you. Now please welcome Winston.
Well, folks, I want to thank you for coming out tonight and listening to me and all the other candidates that are here. It shows great interest in our political process. My name is Winston Urie. I think most of you folks know me as Wink. I was born here in Denham, right here across the street at the old hospital. I graduated from Cumberland High School in 1990. I'm a graduate of Southeast Community College, and also at Eastern Kentucky University. I'm a 17-year law enforcement veteran. I began my career at Lynch. I worked for the city of Harlan. I worked for the Harlan County Sheriff's Office under 2 different administrations. I've got hundreds of hours of training at the Department of Criminal Justice Training. I also have training through private companies like Mace, Taser, Glock. Also, I'm a graduate of the Academy of Police Supervision. My wife, Amanda, we've been married for the last 11 years. I've got my 3 sons here, Matthew, Andrew, and Ethan. They're my love of my life. But that's a little bit about me. Now, I'm here to tell you tonight that everything isn't good at the jail, that we do have some issues that we do need to correct. First off, I'd like to commend Mr. Staley for an excellent job he's done with the Guard. He took that program from nothing and created it, and if elected, I'm going to keep it and expand it. Throughout years of my policing, I've heard people complain about a lot of things on other officers, on politicians, and you kind of know when to take a complaint with a grain of salt. When you got pastors that go up there to minister, come and tell you that, hey, there's issues with the food up there, you better pay attention. We need to improve the quantity and the quality of food. I'm not talking about T-bone steaks, meals, and things like that. These people are being punished, but they need to be treated decently. Okay? So we're going to keep the Guard, keep the costs down. Also, we're going to control the overtime. I did an open records request to the Harlan County Treasurer. There's over 8,300 hours a year in overtime at the jail. Okay, that averages out to about 160 hours a week. Only government can tell you 160 hours a week in overtime to save you money. If it was Walmart, they would go out. We'll correct that. Also, if you travel from the state, you'll see prisoners out working on the roadside, picking up garbage with the Department of Transportation. You don't see that in Harlan County. They don't do that in these other counties out of the goodness of their heart. They get money, they receive revenue from the state. That's a lot of money that we can bring in to help alleviate the cost of running our jail. We'll take part in that program. Also, the SAP program is a good program if it's licensed. Our program isn't licensed. It's accredited, but it's not licensed. We need to get licensed professionals in there. When the people come out of the SAP program, they still have to go to drug counseling classes to get their driver's license back. We're going to get some licensed people into the SAP program. Also, I'd like to create a faith-based program using not only pastors, but we also need licensed professionals to help these folks that don't qualify for SAP. Because really, SAP is a state-run program administered by the jail, but there's no females allowed in our SAP program in Harlan County. There's only limited space for Harlan County residents in the SAP program. They They have to come throughout the state. So we need something for our locals. Licensed professionals combined with faith-based initiative. Also, we've had a lot of complaints about the prices at the commissary at the jail. We'll never be able to compete with Walmart. Dollar store can't compete with Walmart. But I promise, if elected, the prices will be kept at a minimum, if possible. And the money that we generate from the commissary program will be put back into the jail in order to support a SAT and faith-based program. I also continue to work at the jail. I'll also continue to work with the county governments, all the county officials, the city officials. If I have a disagreement with a city or a county official, you'll never know about it because it's going to be handled behind closed doors, and we'll leave like gentlemen with a handshake. I promise you professionalism at the jail. I've been in law enforcement for 17 years. Ask folks here in this county. I've dealt with a lot of people, and they'll tell you about it. Actions speak louder than words. Thank you for coming tonight. I ask you, vote for Wayne to run the blank.
We'll now hear from John Clem. Thank everyone for coming out. Thank the Tri-City Chamber. Beautiful, beautiful place. It's beautiful up here in the Tri-Cities. Had the opportunity to bring drug court up here to do a lot of work for the Tri-City Chamber and other places. But anyway, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is John Clem Jr. I'm running for jailer. I am married. I have a son, Easton John Matthew. There is a problem, the problem with the jail. And the main problem is when you think any place is perfect, you have a problem. We can all do better at some things, no matter where it's at. So we can the commissary, we can really make things better, okay? People talk about the revolving door at the jail. Implementing programs will help this. People come in and out of the jail. They'll come in one weekend, 2 weekends later they'll be right back. That's a drain on the county. It's costing us money. We need to do something about it. That's county inmates. We need to implement programs to try to help them, try to change this. That way when they're released, they may go out and try to get a job, be productive citizens. Not all inmates can do these type of programs. Some we have criminals. I worked corrections for years. I went to Mountain Empire Community College. I quit corrections to work for administrative office of the courts. These programs are done all across Kentucky. Harlan County Detention Center is the only one that don't do them. We have no library. When you take an inmate and you put them in jail, and you make them feel like nobody cares about them, they could care less. If you felt like nobody cared about you, would you care? I will not baby an inmate. I have put more inmates in the hole than probably 3 supervisors. I supervised the detention center for years, but I did it because that's where they deserve to go. But when people's in there and we can help them, we need to do that. That will help our county, and it will help the revolving door. Religious programs, I'm for 100%. We will keep all of them in place. We have some good people coming there now, and I will welcome more. Because if you can't get an inmate through Return to the Streets, which is a program used in a lot of jails, the SAT program, which he was right, it is not licensed through the AODE, and we need to get that licensed. But these religious programs, if we can't help these inmates through other programs that I know how to implement, through state funds and through grant money, then maybe the Lord can touch them, you know? Maybe these preachers can touch them. We need someone to change their lives. We really need that. IWP, the Inmate Workplace Program, I'm for it 100%. I've done it with drug court. Drug court, I took them everywhere working. We need that. The thing you need to understand about the IWP program, if it's a state inmate, they're classified, okay? The Class D coordinator will classify that inmate. They'll come back at level 1, level 2, whatever they come back. If they come back at level 1, I can call Cumberland City, Benham City, Lowell City. I can say, will you come get this inmate, and they can come work in your community without a deputy. All that has to happen is one of your maintenance men has to take a class, and they can come pick that inmate up and work in your community every day. My county inmates will be doing every graveyard all over this county, and every other job. I have one van that does nothing but graveyards. While I worked drug court, I almost won this election in 2010. And due to the fact that I won 3 precincts out of 5, 3 districts, I'm sorry, I had to take drug court and do graveyards across Pine Mountain, Cavewood, Wallen, Scoldon, because the current administration wouldn't do it. They stayed in the newspaper. But I didn't care to do it. I mean, with these graveyards, we'll do them. I'll do them all across the county. I don't care if I lose here, there. If I win the middle, lose over here, I'll do them. That's my job. You elect me, I'll do it. I have no plans on dismissing anyone from the jail, which that was a river cut. No plans. I will continue the garden project, great project, saves money, teaches good work ethic. County inmates can be out there doing the garden project. State inmates can be assigned to each city in this county, helping our county. I'm telling you, that you classify them and you send them out. A deputy don't even have to go with them. The money issues on the phone, I think some of that's too expensive. We need to check into that. I will have a grievance board, which will be a board made up of people like you, because I have worked corrections. And when I was a deputy, I have seen grievances come from the cell and go to the garbage can. Grievances will be put in a locked box. There'll be a grievance board meet. The grievance board will look at the grievances. Now look, an inmate will say anything on them. You have to be careful. They'll lie. Inmate, they'll lie. Okay? But if it's the same grievance every week on the same deputy, the grievance board will call that deputy in, not fire them. Only I can fire them. They'll call them in, they'll question them, and I want to know what's going on. Just what's going on here. And I think that's a good thing. And it won't be people that work for the jail. It'll be people from the community. Okay? I appreciate you all. I wish I could talk more about corrections. I love corrections. It's what I went to school for. But I can't. Thank you for coming out. If you can, vote number 1 on the ballot, John